Hello, Divine Masculines, part two, coming to finish her up. I couldn't, where were we? La, 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 la. We were looking at ourselves in the mirror, right? And arranging and taking care of business in our dark side, our light and dark, deciphering what we want to keep, what we want to let go, forgiving ourselves, forgiving others. And that settles. What is darkness? Darkness, what is it? Okay, let's talk about that. Darkness is the heavy anger that won't go away, frustration that you're not getting what you want, despair, thinking everything's going to turn out bad, a precognitive judgment of the events that will come. And believe me, I have lived through that, okay? In my process of healing over the last 3 years, because it has been the last 3 years where I have finally, went back and hugged every part of myself and brought her back into my heart. The girl that swore on her own child's life. That poor child was only 16 years old, and she was in hell suffering, for the depression, the post-traumatic stress disorder, bipolar. These are all the labels that they put on this poor girl, okay? But what I realized is every one of those labels was attached to one of those fractions that I had cut off from myself because I didn't want that to be me, nor did I want those things to be a part of my life anymore. So I had to start from learning and going back and loving my inner child from a long time ago. My inner child when she was 3 and her world fell apart. My inner child, at the time that, I was a very conscientious child. So when I felt that I had been a part of my daughter's death, and just on and on, failures of marriage, failure at this, failure at education, failure at able to push through on so many things. And I went back and loved that girl through everything. I loved her when she lost her husband, and I told her, I went back in time and soothed her and comforted her and brought her back through time to here with me. Because the spirit of us never goes away, especially if we've been traumatized. We get stuck there. And that trauma, whether we know it or not, even if we move forward in time, there's a piece of us that's been left behind. And we want to gather those pieces up with love and compassion, knowing that if we'd have known better, we'd have done better, because, that's how we work. And so we have to forgive ourselves for everything we did that we had no idea we were doing. But once we know we're doing it, that's the time to take accountability, right? That's the time to begin working through our darkness, taking our own accountability and sorting it out from what others have done, and going back to the trauma to find out what led, to the trauma. Yeah, I follow all trauma back. Anybody that talks to me about their trauma, I like to go all the way back, not just to the trauma they had. Do they know the trauma, the perpetrator, and any trauma that they had? And then so on and so forth, because this helps to bring understanding. People don't traumatize unless they've been traumatized. Right? Right. They only do what they know, what gets stuck in their subconscious, in the dark areas of their life. It begins to rule them. It becomes bigger than than the spirit of good that's in them, because they're always thinking and hating, and all this energy is going into this thing, and it becomes like an entity, a cloud that hangs over the top of you. And so we go back and soothe that poor spirit, that poor soul that, at that got stuck in that time, whatever time frame it was, and love it through that. Love it. Love it. Two of Cups. No, two of Fire. Two of Fire. Yeah. Love. Love is fire. Love will burn away. Love is fire and water. It's got to be, because love can get really, really hot. Fire can get really, really hot, but you need the water and the steam on it that soothes those emotions. And between the two, you get this steam that's coming up, these colors. And this is the colors of creation, right? This is the sacral and the solar plexus. This is about creating, and making things better, soothing the souls, the elements that are in us, that are alive. We have 4 different living elements in our body that is alive, and balancing them out, which this is like, balance. It's all about learning to love all the sides of yourself. 2 of Cups is about love. 2 is about coming together with another. 2 is about meeting and joining in. This is about loving both the sides of yourself that you felt or thought or wanted to hate. Those are the parts that if you don't love will eventually take over, because hate and anger and frustration are heavier energies, and they will compact into mass. They'll en masse up. And, it becomes like this entity this dark cloud that you carry around with you. You don't want the dark cloud. You want the sunshine. Let the sunshine in by learning to love the parts of yourself that you wished hadn't been, and finding the treasure that's in there. Something good always comes out of something that we don't like. That's the way the universe works. He likes to get us to get down in the nitty-gritty of things, and then we get this reward of intelligence, health. God doesn't work through money. A lot is spiritual, even though money is spiritual. Don't let me say that. I'm never going to say that again. I'm so sorry. Yeah, money is made of trees. How spiritual is that? Right? Bring us some tree, man. Yeah. Oh, look, here's an offering. Yeah, 6 of Pentacles. A willing offering. He's willingly offered up his dark side. 6 of Pentacles. Yeah. He has offered himself up to the world, to love the world, offer the world fruit, and to make the harvest, which is all about judgment, karma, when the garden is ripe, you make the harvest, and then you got to go out and take down all the other stuff, take it out, sort through it, find what can be used and what can't. And this is that time. We are being sorted out, to see, to get people on their path. To get people on their path. So if you are going through a hard time, offer yourself up to God with a pure heart, meaning that that's what you want to do, in a childlike manner. Believe, because I was thinking to myself during break, if there was anything, when I read that Bible at 30 years old, I began reading the Bible to find out what was going on, to see if I wanted to be religious. And I'll tell you why. Because the Mormons come to my house, and as naive and simple as I was, my mom had told me that the Mormons were a cult and never to get caught up in a cult because cults were very dangerous. And so I was one of those girls that really listened to what my mama said, because I knew not to. Look at that love of water. I love my mom. So the Mormons come to my house and knocked on the door and wanted to talk to me, and I hid in the closet and wouldn't answer. And funniest thing, while they were there, I was praying, oh God, please let them go away. Oh God, please let them go away, right? And this is what made me start reading the Bible. I wanted to know if Mormons were a cult and if I could trust them. And I had already been kicked out of several churches. So, I just didn't want to deal with them anymore. They made me feel, like that. Hey, you better get back there. You don't want to get too close to the edge. And so I hid from him, and then I went and got me a Bible and started reading it to see. Hello? You want to say hello? This is Wong Chicken. W-O-N-G. Wong Chicken. Huh. The Great Chicken. Isn't that funny? I love him. Oh my gosh. See that face? And then here we have Rough and Ready Aura. Oh, look at that. Look at that. Oh my gosh. Huh? Is that the cutest thing you've ever seen in your life? Mwah. Is that the cutest thing you've ever seen? Yeah, what is it? Okay, guys, isn't it? Oh, I gotta hurry up so we can get done, so I can play with the babies outside. Okay, so offering of yourself to yourself, that right there. In other words, you're going to do the best you can for you and for what can bring you into a place of this, where you feel like you're strong, you're fierce, you're ready to face the world. You've got, truth as your armor, righteousness, doing the right thing for the right reasons is something that everybody can only determine for themselves. There isn't a list that says this is righteous and the other list saying this is not. No situation is the same. So righteousness is doing the right thing for the right reasons at the time that you do it. And, everybody has their own determination what the right choice is and what the wrong choice is. That cannot be told to anybody. That's where thinking comes in, Divine Masculine. Should I do this? Should I not do this? Should I move forward with what I'm doing, or should I stop and think about what I'm doing? Uh-oh, you got it? Stop a moment and think before you act. Uh-oh, got a little fight going on. The youth, the journey, the rebel, putting the darkness behind you, accepting life for what life has been up to this point. Because a lot of us who are the light, who are star children, have been put under a lot of darkness, right? Darkness doesn't play fair. darkness is really, let's just talk about this. Darkness is there to make the light stronger, right? I mean, think about it. It's there to make your light stronger. And the more darkness you've been through, the brighter your light will be. And what is your light? Your light is your wisdom. Your light is your knowledge. Your light is the love that you hold for yourself, the God within you. And when you love yourself and the God within you, you love everything that's of life, whether it's a flower or an ant or puppies. You know, it doesn't matter what it is. If it's alive, it's worth nurturing and bringing it to its fullness, which would be the rightness of death, right? Without impeding its growth or controlling its mind, but allowing it to come to its own knowledge and wisdom within its own self, and it becomes an individual. Yeah, you don't meld with everybody. You're absolutely an individual. And that brings joy because you know who you are. When you know who you are, you make the right choices. It's not as hard as everybody would make it seem. It's learning to love all of what you have been through. It's actually accepting and being grateful for the things, like we come out of terrible things. We want to be grateful that we made it through. I tell you, I didn't know if I'd make it through this world or not. And the premonitions were real for me because, like I said, I remember the cartoon of the little centaur being run out of town by the townsfolk, beating it with pitchforks and shovels and clubs, right? And I think I was having a vision or a premonition of how people were going to be towards the light workers. A centaur is a representation of an intelligent healer, right? So we bring people to work and heal on themselves. We inspire people to know that the power of God is within them. And with a little bit of diving work and accountability and really learning, to go back, as far back as like my first horrible experience. I was 3 years old. I went back and went through that experience. I loved that baby girl through it. And I told her that experience was not who she was, that they didn't know any better, that they were like these puppies, unconscious of their actions. And that you, now being conscious, can understand that they had probably been living that life. That was their life, maybe their whole life long, of seeing and experiencing the things that I seen and experienced and felt. And I felt it was damn disgusting. Even at 3, I remember even stomping my foot and being angry and, wanting to fight. Even then, I'm going to put the puppies down. And that's what we need to do. Fighting is good. Fighting is righteous. If you need to fight, fight. And don't be afraid, whether it's fighting for the right to own your own mind by telling fear, get the hell out of here, you're an illusion, or by saying to yourself, I am brave and I can do this. I am what I think I am. And what I think I am is all that I am. What I think I am is all that I am. I love that. I'm writing that down. Okay, guys, what I think I am is all that I am. That's right. What I think I am, what I think I am is all I am. Well, at this point in time, I think I'm a powerful light worker and a healer and a lover of life. I love life. It doesn't matter what it is. I do not, like I say, the flies, are now to a place where they don't land on me. Not that I have a lot of flies, but there is a couple flies because I have a lot of fruit and stuff to come to the house. But I've told him not to land on me psychically, and now they haven't been landing on me. And we have powers within us that if you practice your psychic abilities, if you practice moving your energy to where you want it to go, such as you could practice with your dog as you clean out your system and learn to love yourself, forgive yourself, adore the creation that you are, because you're a child of the creator of creations, and therefore you're an heir to the powers of the Holy Spirit, or let's just say it, godlike powers, mutants. You become a mutant. You open sources within you that are magnificent and that help you to fulfill your destiny. And when I say destiny, this is where we've got our mind and we are in control of where we're heading. We're not falling off the edge of the cliff. We're walking on that journey, right? We're not getting caught up in the damn landslide. We're going to go ahead and upgrade and uplift ourselves and move forward and get out of that level of consciousness that is collapsing. Yeah. And get out of the confusion and get out of all that. And we do that by doing our shadow work, by loving those parts of ourselves that we hate. We got to turn it around. Okay, that's it. I love you guys. I got babies pulling on my thing. They want to go outside and play. So do I. And I've got a couple more videos that I'm going to do today. I go back to work tomorrow. I love you guys. You're all awesome. I thank and appreciate all of you. And please, please, please send any comments you want. I love them. They're beautiful. I go through moods and emotions too. I'm never the same 2 days in a row. And I will answer. I love answering. And I love you guys. Bye-bye. See you later.